But they're getting pumped up, John. They're fired up. They're ready to go.
Oh, what a picture that is from our drone shot. How cool does that look?
This is awesome. This is what Hattah is about. The sun's shining. There isn't a cloud in the sky. The sand is loamy. It's beautiful. It's ready to go. Look at the riders. Look at the bikes. Look at the smoke. We love this. This is where it's at.
Oh, yeah, it's the calm before the 2 and 4 stroke storm. We're ready to unleash them. They are pumped up. They would have pre-hydrated to the best of their ability. The crew now stepping aside. It's all down to the rider and the motorcycle. As we said, Marcus Nolan for the GYTR Yamaha Junior Racing outfit. Can they catch him? He nailed the prologue. The likes of Harry Gilbertson and company, they will be after him. So we're just waiting now. The buggy.
As soon as that buggy starts to creep forward, John, they're going to be shifting gear. Clutch in, shift gear. They'll be ready to go. Any moment now as we wait patiently. The officials just like us to get all revved up, and then they're keeping us waiting here.
Just building a little more suspense.
Building the suspense.
Nate Munro in that 762. Had him on screen there a few moments ago. Look at him, just relaxed at the moment. The 744. Jet Avard for Cox Auto. So Jet looks pretty relaxed there. He's got the Camelback on, the leading 2, not opting to go with that.
Yeah, that's an interesting. They're going to be out there for about an hour and a half, I believe. I talked to a few of the riders last year. It's going to be about an hour and a half to 2 hours of riding. 6 laps. They have a longer course. Lights are on. Door is closed.
Oh,
Revs are picking up.
It's time to get after it.
First gear are in and off we go.
We're racing in the Junior Big Wheels here at Hattah on a Saturday morning. A sensational Saturday here at Hattah. We are away. Look at them blasting wide open down into this turn. They'll drop it down a gear or 2 and they start to sort themselves out. Look at Ken in the buggy, one by one. Just saying, go for it. Gentlemen, I'm sure we've got the odd female competitor out in this one as well. What a sight it is. And just how long, so many riders down there on that start grid. Our leaders are already well and truly off and into this one. And for the rest, they've got to sit and wait their opportunity.
They got to wait. They got to be patient at the start line. And it's be so anxious to get going out there. You just want to go. You want to go. Everyone's getting away. But this is how this event works. Your prologue is so important to get a good time in on your prologue, so you get a good gate position. And you get out on that track early. But hey, that's how it goes. That's racing, and it serves the fastest riders get out there first.
Yeah, they certainly do. We see the next line now, getting the big send-off, just having to wait for that buggy to clear their path before they can launch. And then you are off. So now it's almost too late if you haven't pre-hydrated. If you're not feeling good, ready to go, you're going to be on Struggle Street for the next hour and a half.
It's going to be a long hour and a half cramping up. But hopefully, most of these guys now are there at a senior level in the junior competition. I mean, everyone would be, a minimum of 12 and upwards in age. So they should know by now, hey, I've got to take care of my body. I've got to prepare my body. I've got to get everything I need ready and right to do this event. Because out there, if you start crashing out at, that 50 to an hour minute mark, man, you still got a long way to go.
Yeah, you sure have. So
the key with this one, John, again, 6 laps, but they are running an extended track. So they run a little bit longer track than the small wheel junior group. So that's the difference. So even though the small wheel junior group did 6 laps, this older, bigger group will do also 6 laps, but it's going to be a longer lap. Maybe an extra kilometre, maybe an extra 2 kilometres, I'm not sure. But it is a longer lap, so the duration of this event will go for quite a lot longer.
Can you believe there's still at least one more row out here at the moment?
That is a lot of bikes. And a lot of the 85s, these are all 85 riders here taking off now. So there's a couple of 125s and 250s still to come, but majority, this is where the 85s are lined up. Obviously the capacity of the engine a little bit smaller, not carrying as much speed down the straights here at this Hattah track, which is extremely fast, especially out in the back on the farmlands. They're just flat out, absolute flat out long straights. So, the little 85s, I actually talked to someone this morning from the Empire Kawasaki team, said they were drilling out the main jets to get them bigger. So when they were flat out, your bike's not going to nip up. So you got as much fuel as you can, pump it through just to keep that thing running as our last competitor takes to the track. So good luck to everybody out there. Well, sorry, I take that back. We still got a few more. We got a third row taking off here.
Now we've finally cleared a Medi. I can see now there is
unbelievable.
There's one bike left on the start line. Gee, that is a shame. Looks like the motorcycle just failing to fire, or maybe stalled it and just can't get it going again. Gee, you'd be absolutely shattered, wouldn't you? If you
we all hate to see that, and hopefully this machine will fire. They're going to bump start. Here we go. We're going to bump start him. So what I think is happening here, the bikes are cold. It is cold outside. The ambient temperature is not very high.
They're struggling to even get they need a bit more momentum, but because it's sandy out there as well, they're struggling to even bump it.
And I'm guessing
with the compression.
I'm guessing my vision isn't good enough here. I can't tell if it's a 250F or an 85, I don't know, but it looks like it's got a lot of compression, so they just can't get that rear wheel to turn over. Unfortunate situation here for one of our competitors not being able to get out there, but it is cold outside, and then if you haven't warmed the bike up sufficiently enough in the pit area before you get out of here, it can foul a plug really easy on the two-stroke. So unfortunate for him as they push the bike off. Hopefully they'll get that back up and running by the time the leader comes around. He'll still be able to join the race, but getting back to the action, here we go. This is those fast straights we talked about, running right alongside the main highway. Look at the dust up ahead. This is why prologue, your qualifying time, so important to try and avoid all this dust section.
Yeah, I noticed a couple of the competitors were over to the far right, almost ploughing a new field in the farmer's land there,
and trying to pick up some potatoes as they go through.
Yep, yeah, they were indeed. So, but that's interesting. But you're dead right. I mean, look at that dust there now. You're coming through there like pretty well in top gear before you brake for that 90-degree right-hander, and clear visibility is of paramount importance if you can get it.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely it is. And the promoters, the officials of this club have done an amazing job getting this track prepped, and as good as it is, it looks absolutely phenomenal. And we only have a couple of sections like this one that we're looking at here, which is a bit dusty. Obviously, that would be the further you are back in the field, the harder it is to kind of navigate this section here. But we're only looking at maybe 2 or 3 sections on this track where it's a little bit dusty. So all in all, it's still an amazing circuit to ride. And look, as you mentioned there, John, right on the edge of the track there, ploughing up a new fresh line. And that dirt's probably a little bit more moist as well, so he's probably getting a bit more traction through that stuff too. And here's some of the crosshairs where they've put some tape there, so they want to avoid, looks like a rock there, so they're telling the riders, hey, don't swing out wide here because there's a danger up ahead. Looks like a couple of people have gone down. That's that section this morning, John, where we said, looks like there's going to be a few sneaky lines here, a little bit inside of the inside marker, but we're not seeing anything here. We're just commentating, right? But looks like a couple of riders have gone down. We see one go down right here.
Right on cue.
Right on cue, thanks, mate. So...
yeah, it was interesting how that's sort of developing, and a little bit of a kick even further along. So, is that shrub, is that going to be the mark, or before we know it, is it going to be even shortened up even further, Brad? That's going to be interesting.
Well, we'll give the riders the benefit of the doubt and just say we didn't see anything, right? We didn't see anything, but you're probably right. As this race progresses and the line starts to push further and further wide, the inside might creep a little bit further inside of that as well. But it looks like someone's been having a little bit of fun down here in this section, having a little bit of a ride time. This looks pretty cool out here.
It does.
Looks like a good place to have some fun on your bike. But nonetheless, as we let the riders take to the course out here on this fast backland section, we're going to cut to a little clip from last year with our champ, Cal Norton.
come away with P1 at the 2024 Hattah Desert Race. First ever win here, been trying for a few years and had some bad luck here and there, but no, stoked. Simo was riding awesome, Gussie, all the boys, but yeah, I'm absolutely pumped and I'm rooted, so it'll be good for a nice night tonight and then chill out all week, I reckon.
Yeah, Cal Norton at his very best there, Brett, wasn't he? Like, what a moment for him last year after many years of trying, finally taking it out. And obviously last night when I was chatting with him about it, a career highlight, but he doesn't take anything for granted. He knows how much this event can throw at you, and you've just got to come in eyes wide open. Just try and get all the preparation in place, do everything right, but then you still need just that little bit of luck, don't you, to bring it home and get it done.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And at the end of the day, we've got a lot of top guys here in this event, and you look at the Fink Desert Race up there, and everyone prepares well. They all know how to do it, but sometimes you got to. I always think you got to prepare well, and then the luck might come your way. Generally when you don't prepare well, the luck doesn't go your way. So you got to put in the work to start with, and then I think just that little bit of, luck or fairy dust or whatever you want to call it, it kind of like you need a little bit of that to go your way to kind of come out on top. And I think, Callum's definitely had his share of things not going his way, and it was just awesome to see last year. He got it done. Scotty Watts, one of my mates, and was his right-hand man there last year to get it done for those guys after they had tried the year before and had a mechanical. It was cool to see them, and then as I talk about, having a little bit of luck and being prepared, like I know Callum went into the Fink race this year really well prepared and then gets sick the week leading up and just finished it. Yeah, that was it. So, one of the best off-road riders in the country and elite rider around the world. I mean, let's face it, he's that good. And, things still happen out of your control, and he got sick, and that was the end of his Fink outing for 2025. But here we are. He's got another opportunity to go back-to-back, Penrite Hattah Desert Champ. So what will it be this year? We'll see. I know Daniel Milner is here. Last year, he came back from Europe. And I know he wasn't inside the top 40 because he was away in Europe, so that makes it very difficult to get a good prologue time in, and then it really upsets your performance the next day. So I know Milner was just here last year basically saying, look, I just want to be inside the top 40, so next year I'll have a really good opportunity to prologue well, which is today, and that'll set him up well to try and win this thing. So he's on a 2-year plan. He's on his second year. He wants to nail this thing this year. So the competition, Jack Simpson's here. So the competition is going to be high. I can't wait to see the big pro class hit to the track this afternoon on their prologue and see what happens. But cutting back to the action, looks like we may have picked up the first rider coming through. Very, very difficult to tell or pick up who it is. But nonetheless, absolutely wide open, coming in hot into the corner. He's pitched it in on the gas, full speedway style. John, what do you know about that?
Oh, it's I love to see it. Love to see it right into the sprint cars and the speedway. And I guess that's all part of it, isn't it? That seat of the pants feel. We see it. A lot of motocrossers actually transfer nicely into speedway because they've already got that seat of the pants feel, and they can generally adapt that to four wheels. And perhaps they're a little bit safer on four wheels than two at times.
I've seen those things go end for end too, though. But nonetheless, our leader here, whoever this is that we can pick up as soon as we get a number.
Looks like the Yamaha to me of Marcus Nolan, the 191. Of course, he was first away.
Yes.
And we'd need a bit of a wider shot to just see what sort of a gap he has developed here. But you see him there up on the pegs, just going through that slight little switchback section. And now continuing hard on the gas. He now brakes hard into this turn for the left-hander.
Yep. Nonetheless, I reckon what you just said there, he going to make it a good speedway ride or anything. The way he pitched that thing there and
He's
it's just
got a
got
big
on
lead.
the gas.
He's got a big
He
break.
stretched her out. So this part of the track now, they're going to be very, very familiar with. They know it well. They kind of know where the lines form up generally from years past. So he's going to know exactly where he is on the track now. We surely do. And look at he's cut up nice and tight. He's keeping it tight, so he knows what to do out here on this track. When it's starting to blow out in these corners, he knows to keep it tight. He's very smart. He's obviously, as we look back there, we can see second just coming into the distance. 191 on the plate.
Yep, Marcus Nolan, as we said, first out, so he's about to slip past our commentary point and be straight into pit lane. He's about straight through now as he looks over his shoulder just to see what sort of a gap he's got, and we'll be able to tell you in a few moments. It looks like it's 9.8 seconds.
Wow.
Harry Gilbertson, so he has moved up from the prologue, up into second place.
Wow, excellent first lap.
Jet Avard on the 744 sitting in third position. So he was another 8 seconds or so back from Harry. So they've already kind of stretched it out a little bit between 1, 2 and 3.
And I'm wondering if that high-speed section where there's a bit of dust, if they have to back off a little bit just to give themselves some room. It's kind of appearing like everyone's spread out a little bit. But, Levi Rossi coming through in 6th place here. So he is now 50 seconds back from the leader, but still in contention. A long way to go. 6 laps of this course. It's a long duration of event. Again, we are going to have to see pit stops by every rider here. I don't think anyone's going for approximately. Well, what was the lap time? We don't really have a good accurate lap time yet coming off the start. But again, it's 12 minutes. I'm gonna guess it's about a 12 to 11 and a half minute lap for these guys. So 6 laps. So be very close, John, if they can actually go for about 4 or 5 laps without having to do a pit stop and then just a quick splash in at the end of fuel and off they go. So it will be interesting to see what kind of strategy the teams use here to get their riders back out on track as quick as they can.
Well, we see our leader there getting on the gas, so that concertina effect, I reckon Harry Gilbertson most definitely closed in there, because when they came into the pits, it was 9.8 seconds between them, and there's barely a couple of seconds in it now.
Well, I guess that's rider etiquette, and it's you don't really like to see that. I would like to see a little bit more rule enforcement. As we see him look over the shoulder, because he's probably like, who is that right behind me?
Yeah, because he can hear. He knows when he came into the pits and he looked over his shoulder, he had that massive gap. And now he can hear a thumper tucked in behind him.
Yeah, and you can hear a thumper when it's on the go. You know someone's there. So will he be able to now? This is a very important part of the race for him now, is can Marcus just focus on himself? He knows, man, I just had a big lead, then someone caught up to me in the pit area. That's not right. He's got to let that go. He's got to let it go and focus on the track now, because this is where a mistake happens, because you're not focused on what you're doing and what actually got you that 9-second lead. You're focused on kind of being shortchanged a little bit. So he's got to refocus now and stay ahead. And if he does that, I think he will stretch it back out on this lap. If it was true and he really can go the speed that he did on that first lap.
So some of these guys that are running up front were in the top 10 last year. Harry Gilbertson is the defending champ.
There we go.
So he definitely wants to be up there.
So he's going to know this circuit very well.
And Marcus Nolan was 7th last year. Jet Avard was 9th. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of some of our front runners, those that have stayed in this class. So maybe we can just skim down through the order here. So Marcus Nolan from Harry Gilbertson, as we've told you. Jet Avard sitting in 3rd. Nate Munro in 4th overall. Fletcher Ryan in 5th. Lightning Levi Rossi up to 6th position. Doing it well on the in that 100 through 150 cc class. So he would actually be leading in class and sitting at 6th overall. Mitch Ford in behind him, 7th overall. Paddy Lewis sitting in 8th. Lockie Roach sitting in 9th position. Richie Lawler in 10th. Liam Egan in 11th. Kai Austin in 12th position. Nate Waldy in 13th. Oscar Thomas in 14th. Riley Delaney in 15th position. And then it's back to Billy Clark, Harrison Lees, Riley Howe, Trip Smith, Hayden Roach, Joel Kramer, Clyde Carey, Mitch House, Lachlan Farrell, Lachlan Vincent, Malachi Middleton, and Noah Holton and Harrison Finch, with Albie Trigg and Cody Breen rounding out the top 30.
Looking at the first 85 big wheel rider, it looks to be Declan Smart in 32nd. So, and then Riley Mullen in 35. So those two riders have swapped positions on the first lap. Nonetheless, still right up in the thick of this senior group of the juniors class.
Well, it's not surprising, because Declan Smart currently leading the 85cc big wheel class in the South Australian motocross titles.
Yep.
He's been flying. Last year he was kind of in the shadows of Dylan Gromble in that particular state title, but now he has got a commanding points lead after some misfortune to Dylan at Robe. So to me, coming in here, I thought Declan Smart was a very good chance of taking out his class if everything went well.
And we just see on camera, right on cue, there's a bit of a pile-up. I saw one rider go down, the next rider just straight into the bike, nowhere to go. Looks like a 3-rider pile-up right in. If they're not, there we go. And almost takes himself out again.
He almost did the big killer python.
The eagerness to get going again, a handful of throttle, it can sometimes bite you. So nonetheless, everyone's back up and running there, so that's good to see. But yeah, Declan Smart really having a solid year. He started off nice and steady, and we did a little bit of work with Declan throughout the year, and he's just getting stronger and stronger, and the mental side for him is probably the biggest piece he needed to connect, and now he's been running the Victorian state titles as well, and I believe he's leading, or he's up in the front run of that point series as well, and just having a good all-round year. And I think he just finished either 5th or 6th outright. Oh, sorry, no, 4th or 5th outright in the Penrite Pro MX 85 Championship. So really showing that he's starting to put everything together and ride to his potential. So it's good to see. But the younger rider right behind him, Riley Mullins, nibbling at his heels the whole way. So it's pretty cool to see. South Australia is starting to get some talent and do some good things out there in the Australian Championships.
Yeah, it certainly is. I remember back in the day that there were a couple of brothers with their mum and dad that used to shoot over to the Vic rounds quite regularly. You and your brother Shane, and I'm not sure if your mum always used to go. I remember Steve-O used to take you guys over in the van.
Yeah,
the white van that you guys had, and
the Bedford van's still parked at home.
Is it really?
Yeah, the Bedford van. So we would go away a lot. Chasing. The competition really. It's the Victorian Championships back in the day where I was a junior were really strong, and South Australia wasn't as strong. We didn't have as many events going on either, and so we kind of had to, if we want to get more support, we needed to really travel interstate and get more racing under our belt, and obviously results too, but just get the brand out there, get the name out there, and the more support followed on from that, and then we got better as riders, and that's how it goes. I mean, you want more support, you got to kind of put more into it, and that's what we did as a family, and it was pretty cool. And obviously me and my dad still share a lot of those things today. He still was, I retired last year, but he was right there along with me for the whole journey, so it was pretty special. But we still have the Bedford van parked in the at home, and it hasn't been driven. I think it's still got chain oil and everything from when I last left it. It's been a piece of history that's just stuck there, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it is. It's some good times, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Back in the junior days, I remember racing for 10 years as a junior myself, and a couple of years in seniors. That you actually generate friendships. There's mates that you make through motocross or off-road racing, whatever it might be, that stick with you pretty well for life.
For sure. And what's been really cool since I've returned back to Australia is those people that I grew up with as kids, they're doing it with their kids, or they're still connected in the sport and riding a VMX or riding vets, or they're still like, the connection never really goes away. I think once this sport kind of gets in your blood, it's hard to get it out. We just love it, and same as anyone that's passionate about that sport, you kind of stay in it and always have a following with it. So I've definitely experienced that, and a lot of kids that I grew up with are friends now, and share a lot of cool memories.
I know you put the gear back on and put in a cameo at Manjimup recently, but in general, how are you enjoying the whole team manager experience now with the Go24 Team Green Kawasaki outfit?
Yeah, we ducked across to do Manjimup. That was my first race or event since Melbourne Supercross last year, which was my last professional race. I said that was it for me. That was my announcement of retirement from the professional scene. And but I want to keep doing some events for sure. And Manjimup is pretty special for me. It's my first ever junior nationals when I was 5. So it's like a big trip to go. I can't even believe that I was there at 5. So it kind of feels cool. I love going back there each year, and we kind of want to make it an annual thing. The promoter there, Willie Thompson's an amazing guy, and I just love going over to WA. The riders, the families, it's really connected to the roots of the sport. That track, yourself, is so connected here, hosting Motocross of Nations in 91 or 92. So it's an iconic track. Love going there. It's a cool event. It's one of the best events for motocross in the country. So I just like being a part of it. This year for me wasn't about trying to go and compete to do well. It was just being there and being my first one back I hadn't ridden a bike, to be honest, in about 6 months. So it was just nice to get back out there and experience it all again. And I want to kind of make it an annual thing with my son and take my kids across there and visit. And it's just good. But this event too is on parallel with that. This is iconic now. It's got history behind it. Past champions show up here. The legacy of this event is just growing and growing, and it's really cool to not be riding, but at least be a part of this event too.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I know you must be thoroughly enjoying the team manager side of it as well. It's sort of a different perspective, but with the young crew and the young female rider that you've got in your team as well, I know one or two of them have been out injured.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's part and parcel of it. I'm sure you've been through a few over the years yourself, but you must be seeing some a lot of improvement from Cooper Rowe in particular. I thought the way he raced at Robe recently was very impressive, and also young Little in your team didn't even know he was injured at Robe. He managed to keep racing, and then
remarkable
discovered that he had a fracture post race.
Yeah, that was a remarkable effort, and unfortunate. He had an incomplete fracture in his wrist, in his scaphoid, which is a bad injury. So Kai's been off for the last 8 weeks, which was a shame, but he's been back on the bike for a week and a half now. He's feeling good. He will make Renmark the next state title round next weekend for us, so that's really cool. But to your question, like for me, retiring and then picking, basically just jumping straight into the team manager, team owner slash everything else, like for the Penrite Go24 Kawasaki team, it's been awesome. I absolutely love it, and working with the kids has been great for me. It's a position that I wanted to be in, and it comes with ups and downs for sure. Like injuries are a big thing, and just working with the families and just trying to take a step forward all the time. Sometimes it goes forwards and backwards. You just got to roll with it and do the best you can. And for the most part, this whole season has been exceeding my expectations. We've had 2 riders on the podium with Cooper Rowe and Karatiana Horn from New Zealand. She's the current Australian and New Zealand champion, so we're doing well. So I think it's we're putting our best foot forward. But I'm really enjoying it, and I love the role I'm in. So I'm very excited about the future as well. But I believe once again pitching it into that corner and getting sideways on the gas, Marcus Nolan. I reckon that will be him coming through in the lead position, absolutely flat out, hard on the brakes, hard on the front end there. Look at the back end, John, bouncing around a little bit. Off-road suspension, a little bit freer in the rebound, a little bit looser, so it tracks well. Big look back over his shoulder. How does that go when you're like 15? Just look back over your shoulder, 5th gear wide open. Look at the back end dancing around. You got to stay on the throttle. So plenty of experience rolled into this young man here. He knows how to approach these events, how to handle these conditions. You see, staying just off the edge of the race line there. That's a nice line. He's being really smart and patient with his line choice, coming in high there, apex in the turn, not pushing wide there. Absolutely perfect. I love seeing that. That's what gets me excited there, when a young rider can execute corners perfect, approach nice, not mess it up or rush in. That was perfection right there.
Yeah, it certainly was. So we're thinking Marcus, still your race leader out there at the moment for the GYTR Yamaha Junior Racing outfit, also supported by Yamaha Motor Australia, Yamalube, Shop Yamaha, Ride Dunlop, ANZ, Unifilter, Custom MX, Fox Racing Australia, NGK, Promo Shack, and Akrapovic Exhaust. Good on you, Shan. Jeez, looking after us with some chocolate bars and some more H2O here, Matty.
Keep us going all day, John.
I reckon.
Good.
Yeah, no.
Here we go, coming through the finish line. 191 on the plate, Marcus Nolan. A nice little lead. He has stretched it out again, John, so that after that first lap with a 9-second differential, I reckon he's put it to about the same again. Looking at Harry Gilbertson coming through, 49 on the plate, sitting in second.
I think he's extended it. Looks like it's 13
Here
seconds.
comes second now, so we're at 13 seconds. Absolutely flying around. Look at him backing off. I don't know if he's adjusting or backing that out. The steering stabilizer. Something very unique in these off-road events. Most of the riders do alike, because on that high-speed section, the chatter in the front end, that steering damper just helps the front end stay relaxed and straight, so you don't have to grip tight. I noticed there he was stretching out his left hand, stretching out his left forearm. Did he get a little bit tight? I did notice, man. He was pushing really, really hard coming into that finish line section there. So it's not like they know they got 6 laps, maybe looking at an hour and a half duration. They're like looking like they're racing like they've got 2 laps to go. Like they're just absolutely on the hammer. So impressive riding. He's got to stay loose and relaxed. It's still a long way to go in this event. And once again, we see, it looks like 49.
Harry Gilbertson.
Harry Gilbertson sitting in second there. And that might be our third place rider back there as well. Jet Avar. So has he crept up, John, into third?
Yeah, looks like Jet's there. So
that's a 19-second gap. So I think he's definitely running a good pace. What was checking the lap times?
15 minutes 12, I think, from Marcus.
Okay, so
last time around against a 15 minutes 16 for Gilbertson.
Wow, and then Jet Avar turned to 15:14. So all 3 of these riders within 4 seconds of a lap time. John, this could get very interesting as this race unfolds into that, about the 1 hour mark. Who has the fitness and the stamina? And you just see there how he slowed up and took his time through that corner to get on the inside and open this next corner up. So riding very smart is Marcus. I like his chances of staying fit and strong for the end of this race by just watching his line. Look at him up there, hard up on the smooth line. Excellent line choice there. He's avoiding as much bumps as he can. He knows he's got to save that energy. That'll allow him on those last couple of laps. If they are to close up and put some pressure on him, he might still have a bit of reserve left in the tank. But line choice out here is key. We see the rest of the field coming through. 27, looks like a 250 KTM rolling through the pits here.
Richie Lawler.
So, and there's a drink. So it looks like a quick drink bottle handed off to the rider there, and he'll have a sip, which is interesting. He's got a Camelback on there as well. So I wonder if he just needs a little bit of extra, maybe some sort of
like a sports drink?
Like a sports drink, perhaps. Yeah, maybe like some sort of Endura or something like that. Electrolyte replenishment, just to keep you can't just drink water all day. You got to have a little bit of electrolytes and some sugars to replace stuff. Levi Rossi, I believe, taking off up the hill.
Yeah, Fletcher Ryan on the 17. I reckon he was just sitting in front of him, but you're right. It'd be interesting for those that are opting not to go with the Camelback setup. You think surely that they would have popped a couple of hydrolytes this morning in their water and would have absolutely pre-hydrated until they couldn't drink anymore, basically, just to make sure they were good to go.
Yeah, you do. You also do have to be aware, drinking too much water will strip you of your minerals in your body, and it can actually deplete you and dehydrate you as well. So there's a not a fine line, but you definitely don't want to over drink the day of in the morning too much water, because it will actually strip you and give you a bit of a bellyache too. So it's you definitely got to, the week leading up to an event like this, you've got to be very structured and prepare.
So we can scroll down through the results a little bit further for you now. So at the moment, it is all Marcus Noland, as we mentioned, with a 13-second advantage over Harry Gilbertson, the defending champ. Jed Avard in behind them in third place. So he was a further 6.8 seconds back from Harry, but rounding out the top three. And then it's Nitro Nate Munro in fourth position. Fletcher Ryan sitting in fifth. Then it's back to Levi Rossi in sixth overall, but leading as far as the 100cc through the 150cc two-strokes are concerned. So Levi having a good run. Paddy Lewis back up onto the four-strokes. He's in seventh overall. Lockie Roach in eighth position. Richie Lawler in ninth. Mitch Ford in 10th. Liam Egan in 11th. Kai Austin in 12th position. Nate Waldy in 13th.
Oh, we have a very fair competitor here. This is the section where we were looking at before, John. Is that inside going to keep getting further inside and go inside of this bush that we're looking at now? The rider just coming through the screen there. We can see the white marker there, which is technically the inside of the track. He actually went up and around that cone, used the berm there. A very honourable rider there. We like to see that.
He could be a candidate for the Total Tools
There we go.
Sportsman of the Day award.
He could be a very strong candidate for that, because I don't know how many other riders can say they went up around that cone there, but I don't actually think it's not much of an advantage, actually, because you got to go over that hump, and like we saw before, there's about 3 riders crashed because that, going over the top of that little hump sand mound with ruts in it, it's quite technical, so I don't think it's much of an advantage, to be honest. But either way, we're keeping an eye on the riders, make sure they're all doing the right thing. Looks like these riders just letting their legs dangle a little bit, trying to relax, get some blood flow going as they cruise through, stretching it out. Yep, so he's stretching it out, letting his legs hang, just trying to get that blood flow going, and get a bit of relaxation time as they creep through the pits. And they, it's very important that they don't go too fast and get a penalty here in the pit area.
So just looking at the first of the 85 big wheel, and it looks like it is still Declan Smart, currently running in 28th position overall.
Well, he's creeping up each lap here, so
he's got quite an advantage over his nearest rival in class, and that's Riley Mullen, who sits down in 35th. So he's absolutely flexing his muscles here and trying to pick his way through the order. It's very impressive from Smart. You'd have to be impressed with that as we...
Sure, yeah. No, that's awesome to see. And just as much for Riley, he's still sitting in 35th. He's not lost any positions. So that is just incredible. But Declan, to be moving forward in this type of field on an 85 is definitely saying that, hey, I'm feeling fit, my bike's good, and I'm fast. Get out the way. I'm coming through. There's a screaming two-stroke 85 coming through. Watch out. So pretty impressive, Declan. We'll see how far he can go up the field, and it'll be interesting. But none of that, he's leading the current 85 standings.
I think we saw him cruise through the pits a few moments ago, so we'll see if we can go a little bit further down. I reckon I got up to around about Riley Delaney in 15th for overall, but he too is in that two-stroke 100 through 150cc class, so could well be sitting inside the top 3 in that class at the moment. So Billy Clark's behind him in 16th. Riley Howe runs in 17th overall. Trip Smith in 18th. Harrison Lee's in 19th. Mitch House in 20th. Clyde Carey's 21st. Hayden Roach is 22nd. Lachlan Farrell is 23rd. Noah Holton is 24th. Lockie Vincent is 25th. Cade Green is 26th. Cody Breen 27th. Then down to Declan Smart, as we mentioned, in 28th. Joel Kramer's 29th. Harrison Finch in 30th. Chase Weston in 31st, followed by Albie Trigg, Lockie Gardner, Blake Brown, Riley Mullen in 35th overall, Chad Woodbury, Kai Kinsella in 37th, Xander Guka in 38th, Sid O'Brien in 39th, Bradley Gerety in 40th, Lockie Di Paolo 41st, followed by Will Cale, Jack Roberts, Finley Cox, and Jesse Diffie rounds out the top 45. As we said, a couple of different classes out there. You've got a bit of a mixture. We've got our 4-stroke class. You've got the 2 strokes, the 100 through the 150. Then you've got the big wheel 85. So It's pretty well the three different categories, sort of the battle within the battle here for us to keep an eye on.
Yep, plenty of action, plenty of action to review, and even for the teams and the families out here thinking oh, he's sitting in 60th, but he might not be in his actual category. Someone might be up there in the top 10, which is an amazing effort. And you just saw some of the 85 riders coming through, getting a bit of head shake. The tracks are getting rough. They're pushing as hard as they can. The fatigue's going to set in here soon. Make sure they control their motorcycle, use the proper technique will really help their longevity here in this race. Using good technique and the right muscle groups will really help in an event like this.
So wide open on the 250cc, you think they'd be guzzling a fair bit of fuel, that's for sure. So you'd be thinking by halfway distance approximately. I know we weren't quite across this in the small wheel race, but you'd be thinking by the completion of lap 3 or 4, we could expect to see majority of this field in for a bit of a top up.
I would have thought so. Definitely think that after that 3, maybe lap 4, they're going to pop in, just have a quick splash of fuel, and then have a drink and go again. But we were severely wrong in the small wheel group, so we're going to have to wait and see. They may choose to push as far as they can, maybe even up to the last lap or 2, and then just put a quick bit of fuel in and go. So it's a shorter pit stop, perhaps. We're going to have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting to see what team or what rider chooses and when they come in and what they do. So we might start to learn that here in the next lap.
We can really see it starting to cut up, can't we? It's just starting to get rough. The suspension really starting to work hard on these motorcycles, and that's where it's really going to start to take its toll a little bit. It's where the training comes in.
Wow, look at that.
The physical fitness.
You see the bike just jumping around underneath him. He probably didn't even think anything of it. We watched it on TV and go, "Wow, look at that!" And then you ask the rider, "Did you feel that? Or how was that?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know." I've been there before, where it's you're just so focused on the race and just going that nothing bothers you.
Actually, it was almost remiss of us, Matty, not to mention the female class here as well, the 12 to under 16 class, and Nellie Fox down in 88th position. Yes, we've got so many riders out on track at the moment, but I suspect would most likely be leading the way. She did win the prologue earlier on this morning, so you think that she would be the first of the ladies out in this one. We'll just see if we can scroll down a little bit further to find some of her fellow competitors. Have to be just a little further down in the order. Yep, there's Lily Sexton sitting in 131st position overall. So we can see a few more of them a little bit lower down the pecking order, and Olivia Johnson as well in 151st. So we certainly...
So that could be the top 3 running order in the women's class.
Yep.
So that's fantastic effort that they're even out there. Big field in this one. We had 3 rows of bikes all lined up taking off. So
there's 261 riders if we scroll right to the very bottom of the
there it
of
is,
the timing.
260 bikes on track at once. I mean, that could really change the race outcome as well. There's going to be a lot of back markers, a lot of people to pass as the leaders are coming through. Their pace is a lot faster than some of the riders that are back there that obviously potentially got a late start in the sport, maybe don't do a lot of riding. So the speed of Marcus right now coming through this group of riders here out on track, it's really going to be tricky because the speed he's going is amazing. I mean, he's probably running similar times as the pro riders this afternoon, and he's going to have to be very careful with the line choice and how quick he comes up on somebody, and just really pay attention to that. But that could really change the outcome if he starts getting back marker problems, and slowing him down a little bit. The second and third may have an opportunity to catch up that gap.
So for those watching on the live streaming there, those results were up there. It didn't seem to include Harry Gilbertson in second place, so the live timing was just showing that on the screen. So we'll have another look at that. And we know last time around there was a 13-second differential between Marcus and Harry.
I'm going to guess this may be Marcus on screen now as he punches it up the inside, just checks up, smart move, and then ducks up the inside again. So if this is Marcus on screen now, riding very smart as he has this entire race so far. So it would not surprise me if this is him as he comes up on another lapper here. So swinging out wide, making a nice easy pass, giving plenty of room as he goes past these competitors here. This is where you need to be very cautious and looking ahead, John. Hey, you got to really take your time to just look ahead and see what's coming up and kind of almost plan an attack on when you're going to make a pass. Sometimes you might be better off just to be patient and sit behind someone and quickly duck out of the inside and make a pass down the next straight, and sometimes you're better off to wait. That was a perfect example. He was patient, tucked up the inside, made a nice, safe, easy pass. So this Marcus Nolan is very impressive. He's impressing me right now just in the way he's going about his race, the timing that he's doing everything, cuts out again wide there, ducks out to the outside line here, nice and easy, shifting gears, perfect execution so far.
Yeah, he's really carrying the momentum, just flowing through the outside of that turn, didn't worry about looking for the apex, and now we can see him coming right back towards us.
And sometimes you got to thread the needle, big panic rev there, letting the backmarkers know, hey, someone fast is coming through, just hold your line, I'll come up the inside, logging another lap, so that will be lap 3, Marcus Nolan leading the way here, and once again, left hand off, just letting it air out a little bit, shaking it off. The thing we need to watch here is who's going to come through in second and what is the gap.
So what was his last time? A 15-minute 22.651. Gee, he has absolutely put the hammer down. It's 22 and a half seconds.
Wow.
Between first and second now. And he's going to take the opportunity to stop and get some fuel. Look at these fuel churns nowadays with that quick release. They can probably get that done quicker than he can have a quick drink. Looks like a little bit of gel there, just something very quick, very light.
Yep.
Fuel cap's back on, and he will rejoin the fray. We didn't actually see whether Harry had gone past or not. That was
looks
interesting.
Like he might have just...
What was that came off the motorcycle?
I think it was on the Yamahas, they have that cover that goes over the top of the fuel cap. I think he may have just pulled that off. I couldn't quite tell, but I did see something kind of come off. I don't think it's anything major. He doesn't look stressed at all. I'm sure the fuel cap's done up. I think it was just the cover that sits over the top.
Not that air filter cover?
I hope it's not.
Because that sits just there at the
does.
end of the seat too, doesn't it?
It does. I surely hope it's not the air filter cover. I don't think it will be. He doesn't look stressed. He was missing a part of his seat up the front there, so he won't want to sit too far forward in his corners, but on this high-speed track, you're more sitting towards the rear, center to the rear of the seat anyway, but we'll have to keep close eye on that if we can get a close-up of his bike there and just see, what that was, but I don't think it's anything of a problem. I don't see anyone rushing out there to fix it, so he should be fine here as he gets back under green flag, and off he goes for lap 4 is underway. 22-second lead he has coming into the pits. So we'll see what the gap is and who is pulled into the pits. It may have extended or it may have shortened up. We won't find out till they cross the line again.
No, that's right. So some more live footage here. And not
look at that pass there, creeping across the inside. That was a brilliant move.
Yeah, it was. It does look like the Yamaha, so that's most likely still Marcus we're thinking at the moment.
That's Marcus Nolan there, our leader. So far, absolutely impressing me. Just the racecraft, look at him ducking back across and then crisscrossing the track on those smooth lines. It's almost like he's been here for a week just practicing as the track is rough. And I know that's not allowed. It's not been happening at all. But this young rider that has so much experience in his racecraft is really shining through. And that's what I'm seeing the most, John, is just the line choices he's got and picking up some really crafty moves here.
Yeah, he's absolutely...
he's waving his arm around there, so not sure what was happening there.
He's attacking this track, isn't he, with reckless abandon, but he just seems to be hitting his marks, almost as if he's been practicing on the Xbox or PS5 or whatever they're up to nowadays, but he seems to almost have a photographic memory of all the different lines, all the entry points, the apex is just exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah, he's really been nailing that. It's like he's designed the track on the PlayStation or something, been running it, and he knows every bump and line. And that's that focusedness where when that happens and you're so locked in, you're in the zone. You know, you're in the zone and you're just hitting everything perfect and can kind of predict when and where you can pass a lapper or, you know, where there's an open gap. So he seems to be in that zone right now, that's for sure. And it's cool to watch. It's cool. You got to respect that. And as we see another rider coming into pit lane, you know, always slowing down, creeping through. Look at the pits, the vans all parked up. Such a cool sight, such a cool event here at the Penrite Hattah Desert Race. And we are very lucky as a sport to have this event, be allowed to be out here carving up the wetlands here in the back of Mildura. Is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it certainly is. So I reckon the top 16 have already come through to complete lap number 3. So Marcus Nolan, as we've told you, with a 20-plus second lead over Harry Gilbertson. Jedivard sitting back in 3rd place. Nate Munro in 4th. Fletcher Ryan in 5th. Levi Rossi continues to fly the flag for the Two Smokers. Out there in 6th, but first in class. Paddy Lewis in 7th. Liam Egan in 8th position. Kai Austin in 9th. Nate Waldy in 10th position. He's being chased by Lockie Roach, Oscar Thomas, Riley Delaney, Richie Lawler, Mitch Ford, Riley Howe, Billy Clark, Trip Smith, Mitch House, Clyde Carey, Harrison Lees. Then it's down to Hayden Roach from Lachlan Farrell, Noah Holton, Lachlan Vincent, Cade Green, Cody Breen, Declan Smart. Smarty through, I think his best lap time was 16:57, sitting in 28th position and still leading the way for the 85 big wheels.
Yeah, that appears like he hasn't gained any position. He hasn't lost any in that last lap, so looks like he's going to be holding it. I was kind of looking at the lap times of the riders around him, and I think everyone's going to be a little bit similar pace there, so it's going to be hard to move forward from here. Looks like Riley Mullen and the 85 still sitting second in group, so amazing effort there for both of these riders.
Yeah, it certainly is. So it's actually only the top 26 that have just come around at half race distance. So Cody Breen, his name just illuminating momentarily there. So Declan Smart through now. We probably just jumped the gun a fraction, but he's actually moved up to 27th.
So that's another position he's picked off. That's he's definitely on the move. And I'm just seeing a rider down here in 42nd, Will Kale. I'm wondering if that's Ollie Kale's brother. Ollie Kale finishing second in the small wheel division this morning. So I'd be interested to know if, you know, the big brothers out there, if they are related. A competitive family. Brothers going at it. Pretty amazing. And sitting in 42nd in this group here, riding strong. So obviously the family's doing something pretty special, pretty good there to get these kids going.
Yeah, they certainly are. Of course, they'd love their racing, and that's what it's all about. I think it's having the passion. Once you jump on a motorcycle, start getting into racing or riding, whatever it might be, a bit of an excursion there from one of our competitors.
That's the point where you got to stay concentrated and try not to, because that might have cost him, 1 or 2 seconds right there. So just trying to pick up a little extra speed going into the corner kind of bit him there, and that's why you just have to tone it down, and your braking points need to be so precise on a track like this where it's high speed. You see the 84 just drop the hammer down on the throttle, get back up the hill. Here we go.
Yeah, he does indeed. So let's see if we can go a little bit further back through the field here. I think we went up to about the top 30 or so. In fact, Holton was in 28th, Weston in 29th, Harrison Finch in 30th, Albie Trigg, he should be there somewhere in about 31st, Xander Goiker in 32nd, Lockie Gardner in 33rd, Riley Mullen still racing his heart out there on the 85 big wheel, possibly second in class, we're thinking. Unofficially, Blake Brown there in 35th, Jack Roberts 36th, Will Kale in 37th, Kai Kinsella in 38th, Bradley Geraghty in 39th, Sid O'Brien 40th, Jesse Diffie in 41st, Hayden Detling in 42nd, Jack Wilson's 43rd, Joel Kramer just comes around in 45th, and in fact Jack Wilson 43rd, Chad Woodbury's 44th. I think it may have been the 38 of Harley Julin who sits in 45th. Lockie Di Paolo not far behind him in 46th, followed by Joel Kramer, Finley Cox, Malachi Middleton. In fact, Sam Dixon's 49th, and RJ Penny has now moved up into 50th position.
And just looking at Nellie Fox, sitting in 88th position right now, so that's one of our female riders out here. So she could be up in the running for in the women's group, maybe sitting top 3 right now.
Yeah, it's difficult to see any other of the female riders above her in the live timing at the moment. So we suspect unofficially that she would be leading in class. And as you said, we'll be able to recap whether she's moved up any positions against the boys in a few moments when she comes through. Of course, constantly updating until they click off another lap. Well, can anybody catch Marcus the way he is riding here, Matty? It's very impressive. His best lap time of a 15:12.9, and you know the closest to that I think is Gilbertson with a 15:16 lap time, but it's not that. I think we're not seeing much of a drop away in his lap times either, and that's probably the most impressive part, isn't it? That he's just maintaining the rage.
It is. I think that's the way he's going about the race, and you know how he's positioning himself, not just technique wise but passing the riders, how he's kind of connecting the track right now. I mean, I think that is the strong point for him, where it's going to get him across to the end of this race, bar any mechanical. I just think the way he's approached it and riding the track is a little bit superior to the competition right now. As we see a rider just tuck the front end in on the exit of the corner there. We just saw him go down, but I'm sure that was a very low-speed crash. He'll be back up and running again, no problem, in the soft sand here today. But yeah, you're right. Marcus just riding exceptional right now. The racecraft he's demonstrating is kind of what's really impressing me, and I think it'll really give him some energy at the end of this race. As we look at Declan Smart, here is our first 85 rider on screen right now, and a rider I've got to know over the years growing up in South Australia. We've watched Declan come through from 50s up to the 60 and now in the 80s, and an exceptional rider up on the peg. That's what you like to see in the nice sandy rolling whoops here at Mildura. We want to see him up on the pegs, and then off the back here making the rear end drive, getting the most power he can out of this 85 machine. I just actually had a message from Scotty Watts down there from part of Declan's team in the pit stop there, and they said that he will be pitting this lap, so he will be coming in for fuel at the end of this lap. So looks like Declan's got a pretty solid lead. Obviously they're aiming at the the overall for the 85 place, but I know Declan, he just wants to ride. Yeah, he just wants to ride his bike. He doesn't care. He's just going for it. So anyway, their game plan is to pull in for fuel this lap. So that'll be end of lap 4. That'll give him 2 more laps remaining. So obviously that fuel tank, John, what we were talking about from the junior 85s to the big wheel 85, we don't have enough fuel in the tank to just go all the way through in this class. So they do have to pull in. I think that's good. It makes it interesting. It's cool for us to talk about and see some pit stops.
Absolutely. So it looks like the top 100 or so have just come through here. We just see the timing updating, so we might be able to have a closer look a little bit further down in the field. As we said, Nellie Fox has come through in that 97th position, has she? No, perhaps not quite. We just see that changing slightly. So Ryan Hunt's come through in 98th, Harrison Walters.
There goes Riley Mullins on screen there. So that'll be the second place 85 rider. See the Kawasaki going through. So here we got one.
Getting even tighter through that turn.
We got one truly honest to the core rider there on the Yamaha 85. Hats off to you, my young man. But hey, it's not really gaining much time, John, so I don't think there's any implications there. It's just how it goes.
We're seeing Nellie Fox just slide down through the order here, so let's hope nothing as serious has happened to young lady out there, because we can see now Tom Mitchell's through in 102nd, Henry Jack 103, Banjo Watt in 104th, Alex Beaton 105, Jimmy Chennell in 106, Campbell Porter is 107th, Liam Schiller is 108th, Safford Clark running in 109th, Henry Vines in 110th, James Norrie down in 111th, from Austin Clissold on the 174 in 112th, Finn Westbrook in 113th, Diesel Timon in 114th, Kai Glover in 115th, Ryan Couch in 116th, Hudson Wilson in 117th position, Malachi Middleton in 118th, followed by Mac Dyson, Tanner Eames, and Nellie Fox continuing to slide down through the timing. So
let's hope that it's not a mechanical or a crash or something, and she is still out there circulating. We won't really know until I think this is the leader on track now, I believe, by the look of that speed that he's coming through the straights. I think Marcus Nolan coming through, and yes, I believe that is him. I can tell by the body position, the way he's pivoting the bike. Once again, Marcus, you can see the speed that he's coming through this. Look how rough that is getting there. So absolutely not backing down at all when the track's starting to get rough. He just knows he's got to stay on the throttle, keep his weight to the rear end, and let the bike do its thing. Coming up to some back markers here. So this is where we've been really impressed, isn't it, John? How he's just kind of sifting his way through, picking his point. He's backed off a little bit there so he can set himself up to the outside. He's just been very crafty and smart with his lines and how he's passing these riders. It's cool to see. He's not in a massive rush to make silly passes and put himself or the other riders at risk.
Yeah, I think it comes back to what you were saying earlier, Brett. And it's not by just riding by your front fender.
Yeah.
It's trying to look up the track. Like, every now and then you might get a slight surprise from a back marker, just like there.
Yes.
He had to back off for a moment there because you sort of expect him to do one thing. If they happen to get a little bit untidy or squirrely in front of you, sometimes maybe you got to have a plan B or C.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's trying to preempt, I guess, what they're doing and trying to catch them at the right opportunities as well.
That's right. It's almost like you have to plan ahead and have timing to it, because if you go in too hot sometimes, you might get stuck there and you can't move around the track and make a pass. So sometimes you do have to back down a little bit, like we've seen him do just before when you pointed that out. He just hit the brakes, checked up, got onto a nice easy part of the track where he can make a pass, and off he goes. So really demonstrating he's got what it takes to bring this thing home so far. The machine is looking very good. Obviously in the Fox Racing gear, Yamaha bike, looking strong right now.
Did you see the roost as well when he was just before he got into the pit lane? That the amount of roost that presumes a scoop tyre. It might be a soft terrain tyre, but
yeah,
it was hooking up, and
yeah,
it doesn't really look like a scoop tyre from here. But
yeah, from here I was going to guess that's just like a mid-soft kind of intermediate terrain tyre. Something in the Bridgestone tyre range would be like an X20 intermediate tyre. I think that's probably a good choice, because it's not going to break down as much either. So those knobbies on the scoop tyres will break down, and you have more surface area on the actual carcass of the tyre that could possibly get a puncture. So the more knobs you got down on the ground, you kind of keep the actual tyre up off the ground a bit more. So if that made any sense, I don't know, but
no, it does. It makes sense, mate.
Yeah.
We see Harry Gilbertson on screen there a few moments ago on the 49, so he's come around 33.3 seconds in arrears of our race leader.
Wow. And then sitting third is Jet Avard, so is that 30 seconds behind second?
I reckon he was only
total?
0.3.
So we got a battle.
Yeah, only 0.3 of a second behind Harry.
So here we go. So this is and this should possibly be a pit stop lap for those guys. So I believe Marcus is going to do that one pit stop in the middle of the race, and then that should take him to the end of the moto, I believe.
He may have pitted then. We didn't actually see it, but he may have.
Okay.
We just keep a bit of an eye here. Remember, he had 33 seconds up his sleeve, so there was easily enough time for him to do that and probably still come out. Oh, here's a fallen rider. Gee, that could be a bit hairy. But he manages to go past him okay on the left-hand side. He'll be trying to make light work of some of these 85s, and he does just that there with a blip of the throttle. He clears 2 of them on the one straight through this sort of snaky section. He'll now just flow that speed and be looking to go up through the gears through this straight section. He's got that little bit of a switchback happening here and now into this left-hander, and then it starts to straighten out shortly where he can really just run it wide open.
Just hitting his marks, isn't he? You know, he didn't overshoot any of those corners, just executing everything nice and steady, and he's in a good position where he doesn't have immediate pressure right behind him. He can kind of manage that 30-second lead. I'm sure when he came into that pit stop the lap before, they would have said, hey, you got a gap, you know, maybe 20 or 30 seconds it was at that point. You know, just continuously just, you know, stay at that pace. You don't have to rush anything. So he's kind of in a nice spot to be right now.
Wonder whether Oscar Smythe may have got a flat tyre or something, but I see them just changing the rear wheel on the rider of the 788.
Yeah, that's always it's where you appreciate as a rider, you're having your family or your pit crew there to help out, and looks like he's, like you say, he might have had a flat tyre, just swapping out a wheel. Looked like the chain might have been a bit loose too, so you know, I don't think they'll probably take the time to tighten that up, but they'll just run it, and good to see them be able to get their rider back out on track and try and finish this event, which is just, you know, one task in itself is hard enough.
Yeah, the suspension on the modern day enduro bike in particular, it sort of surprising me just how loose, how much slack you actually need to have in the chain. It's certainly not what it used to be back in my days racing in the junior ranks.
Yeah, you have to be aware of that. You know, if you're not aware of it and you're running your chain too tight, it really binds up the handling of your bike and your chassis, and it doesn't work correctly, and then you put in that major risk of breaking the chain or snapping the chain. You know, the amount of torque force that these 4-strokes produce now, and especially in Supercross when you land and the chain's tight and then you're hard on the gas and pulling the chain forward with the acceleration, it puts the chains under forces I don't even want to know about, because it's pretty gnarly. So you're better off just to know that you got to really learn your bike and examine, you know, where your chain's at and what you need, if it needs to be loose or tight.
You look at some of the racing going on just a few moments ago whilst you were chatting there, that they were 4 abreast coming out of the pits. It's, you know, it's the race within the race. It
is. It's almost like from that finish line to the entrance of the pit, they want to get in front because they don't want to have to sit behind somebody. So it really is a bit of a last-ditch battle, and that's something I used to do with the water bottle and the straw. You just grab it as you go by and then just kind of drop it here, and you probably have another team member somewhere down here where they'll grab that bottle and take it back to their pit. So quite a clever move there. And I just saw number 11 coming through as we got number 41 pulled in for a pit stop. It's number 11 on the plate. Waldy's come through. So we're looking at now maybe the top 20 is starting to roll through here, completing their 4th lap of the event. And so far, everyone is looking really, really strong.
So it was 16 minutes 18 from Harry Gilbertson last time around, and it was 16 minutes and 7 seconds from your leader Marcus Noland. So that just shows you, and as we have a look at Jedavad, a 16 minute 10 from him last time around, so some 8 seconds quicker. No doubt that's what really shrunk that gap between Gilbertson and himself.
Yep, and that's we're going to have to keep an eye on that battle as it unfolds here, because I think, you know, they're going to really push each other to the end of this race. Will Marcus Noland kind of start to just take it easy and manage his lead and back it down a little bit as those two are pushing forward? And, you know, can they close that gap up? I don't think so, but we'll have to wait and see. But definitely the battle for second is going to be on. And look at that, they get 0.6 of a second dividing each other. So it's going to be cool to see.
Yeah, it is. But what would you do if you were in Marcus's shoes here? If the team are telling you that you've got a pretty good advantage, would you just maybe just be a little more cautious with some of the back markers, or do you think that's a bad trap to fall into, that he should just keep riding and attacking the way he has for the race so far?
Yeah, I think he's got to continue the pace that he's on. You know, I think if he backs down a little bit too much, and like I said, if second and third place start really pushing themselves forward and find rhythm and Marcus really backs it off and takes his time too much passing people, that a 30-second gap on a 12-minute or whatever 15-minute lap can shrink really quickly. So and then if you do have a simple tip over and something wrong, then bang, they're right on you. So he really wants to just continue the pace that he's on, but I do think he needs to be aware of just making passes. He needs to take his time. There's no need to rush making passes. So just make smart passes where he can execute cleanly and get away, and I think that's his key to the race. I think the pace that he's running, he'll be able to set the tone for that, and I don't think the actual speed, I don't think the other guys are going to be able to catch him. It'll be more like how much he backs off passing people, and if he starts to really back off too much thinking he's got it won and a big lead, that'll really affect him. So I would say just continue as you are.
So I reckon the top 30 or so have come through now. Marcus Nolan leading the way, as we've mentioned. Harry Gilbertson, the defending champ, sitting in second. Jedivard in third place. Nate Munro holding down fourth. Lightning Levi Rossi in fifth position at the moment, and he's about 12, or he was 12.7 seconds in arrears of Nate Munro up ahead of him. So Fletcher Ryan runs sixth overall. Liam Egan is seventh. Paddy Lewis runs eighth. Kai Austin's in ninth position. Richie Lawler in 10th. Nate Waldy in 11th. Lockie Roach in 12th position. Riley Delaney sits in 13th. Oscar Thomas in 14th. Mitch Ford in 15th. Riley Howe is 16th. Tripp Smith is 17th. Billy Clark is 18th. Clyde Carey runs 19th. They're being followed by Harrison Lees, Mitch House, Cade Green, Lachlan Farrell, Hayden Roach, Cody Breen, Noah Holton, Lachlan Vincent and Declan Smart. Now 4 laps in the books, rounding out the top 28 and leading the charge for the 85cc Big Wheel Brigade. In behind him, Chase Weston in 29th, Xander Goiker in 30th, Harrison Finch in 31st, followed by Lockie Gardner, Kai Kinsella, Albie Trigg, Will Kale, Riley Mullen pushing on as well. In fact, may not have quite come around to complete lap number 4 just yet. It's only the top 37 or 36 or so, I think, that have got. In fact, he has come through now. So Riley is in 37th and probably second in class, and he's being followed by Blake Brown on the 824.
So still a bit of a gap back to the third place 85 rider. So Riley's sitting in a good position, not a lot of pressure on him there. He can just kind of maintain that pace and not get too worried if he loses positions. I think he's still sitting really, really strong.
Yes, I'm sure, no doubt, that that'll be filtering through. Do you think there'll be, as he crosses by his gazebo, we're not seeing too many pit boards come out as such, but as you coast through the pits, is that something his team, like Dan Banks will be saying, look, you're comfy in second, just keep it up, just quickly blurt that out as his boy goes past, so he knows how to attack the remaining laps?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they'd be, I think silly if they didn't, because just keeping your rider relaxed and not panicking at this stage, you're in a really, really good position. So I think maybe just having some hand signals, simple as a thumbs up, or just pace yourself and take it easy. That'll go a long way, just to let them know, oh, okay, it's all good, I'm in a good position. Sometimes that's all you need, is just to say, hey, you're doing good, relax there, and stay confident and stay calm, and what you're doing just fine. As we watched number 92 come through, that looks like it might have been a 125 two-stroke. I couldn't quite pick it up, but looks like he was on the charge there. Number 92.
Number 92, we should be able to find him in the running order down here. That's RJ Penny sitting in 48th position, Brett, at the moment.
Yep. And that is a 125, 85 two-stroke, or? Yes,
there's quite a few in the two-stroke brigade, as we said, being headed up at the moment by Levi Rossi. He's having such a great run, sitting in 5th position.
Good work for Levi. Levi, I believe, won the 85 class here last year. So he will go on from last year, where he won the 85 big wheel class. And now he's going on to the 125, and he's going to, if he continues as he is, he will pick up the 125 class win. So quite an outstanding effort. I know they've been over to America. I was talking to the family yesterday. They've spent some time in the States over at Club MX, did some GNCC off-road racing. Levi absolutely loves his off-road stuff, and brother Jackson as well. So good to see them having a good run, and they're getting the experience over there and turning some heads too. It's quite impressive, the racing that he did over there. So happy to see Levi backing it up here today and out here in Hattah.
Yeah, Club MX, it's an interesting scenario, isn't it? I believe Chad Reed purchased a property adjoining Club MX and has actually been there riding himself and doing a little bit of coaching.
Yeah.
There with some of his kids as well. I know his daughter's out due to a pretty serious injury at the moment, but it's interesting, isn't it? A lot more momentum sort of building around that whole Club MX facility in the States.
Yeah, they've been going for quite a long time, but the momentum they have now, building the race team, taking the race team out to the AMA Nationals and the Supercross, and to be honest, starting off at a low level and building the reputation, building everything up to where they are now, and then they've got some amazing riders. They're on the podium, and now Chad obviously coming in there with his family as well, joining forces with Club MX. I mean, what a great pickup for Club MX to pick up a guy like Chad Reed, who can help all of your riders at Club MX, and then on race day, take him to the race day and help your team. I mean, it's just a win-win for everybody. I never got there. I never trained or rode there. I rode a lot of other tracks on the East Coast and of America, but I never went to the Club MX. But obviously the facility has just grown, and the popularity they have now, really strong, and they're a force to be reckoned with now. So congratulations to those guys, and it's cool to see Chad over there with his family and the kids, and racing and improving and getting better, and it's cool to watch. I respect what they're doing.
There's even a GNCC loop out of there as well, I believe too. It's not just purely Supercross or motocross.
Yeah, I think the area that they're in, off-road and GNCC, is massive. It's such a big market there. So most of those facilities have an off-road loop as well that they can go and do, and even just for motocross skills. I mean, I think even the great Mike Brown, when he started to do off-road, I think he improved. He got better as a motocross rider too. Just the skill set he developed and how to hop logs and rocks and doing all that stuff. He was just like, man, I'm a better rider. Like it was crazy, the translation he was talking about of when he goes back to riding motocross. I'm just more skilled. Like, this has really actually improved me as a motocross guy too. So I think it's doing a variation of everything nowadays is important, and it's good for you, and it's good to not get stuck in just doing the one same old routine.
Yeah, that's for sure. Actually, I think this might be Marcus now leading the way, but you mentioned Mike Brown a few moments ago. I was sort of saddened recently to read that he had a pretty big accident and was on the road to recovery as well. So we certainly wish him all the best with that. I believe it was a pretty hard fall.
Yeah, man, Mike was, he's a hero to so many people across the world, and I was really sad, when I heard that, and then really happy to see that his improvements that he's made in his recovery already. And I know Brownie, I raced him for a lot of years, and if anybody that's going to make a recovery and push through, and if grit and determination has anything to do with it, he's the guy. He's just an animal, and I got so much love and respect for him. It's crazy. So I'm fortunate to be able to say, like, he's a guy I know, a friend of mine, and a competitor, and I used to hate racing against him when I got there, but like, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. Well, there's our leader, Marcus Nolan, coming around again. So this must be lap number 5 complete. So last time around it was 16 minutes 18.6. You see him there just having a bit of a look around. Here's 5 complete for, it looks like Jedavad has moved up into second here, Matty. He's got the better of Hazard Gilbertson.
That's a fast lap time. I'm just looking at his lap, 15:53. So
wow,
he has taken a massive chunk, and this is what we talked about, wasn't it, John? Does Marcus slow down a little bit too much, take too much caution on, and then the second and third give them an opportunity to creep back into this thing, and we're looking at an 8.3 second lead. how will they exit the pit area here? Like, you can look at Marcus now really having to slow down because he can't, you're not allowed to pass anyone in front of you, so he's really at the mercy of the pace that this leader here sets, where there's a big gap after this little group here.
Wow, this race is very much on. Avard has absolutely gapped Hattah Gilbertson. He's put a good 8 seconds on him in the space of one lap.
Well, what we're seeing on screen, this could be first and second place here in the race. So the lead rider in this little group of 47, I believe that is a lap rider. 191 is our leader. There is 744. That is Avard.
Yeah, Jam.
And 49. And
Hattah Gilbertson.
So this is 1, 2, and 3.
How have they made so much time? Or did we miss Marcus with a quick pit stop?
Has something happened or a pit stop?
This is on like Donkey Kong.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle in because it's about to get wild. And up the inside we go.
Oh, Hattah Gilbertson. He's made the pass for second, if you don't mind, folks. He is a man on a mission. Has he saved something here?
We might have a serious battle. Look at him setting it up here. He wants more than second.
Marker. There's more back markers up ahead.
This is where these guys are going to have to be very careful.
Oh, our leader getting a little bit snaky there through the turn. It's
and Avard on the outside. Avard is on the outside. Gilbertson up the inside. This is crazy. Switching left and right, trying to find the smooth line, the better line they can maybe make a pass on. This is intense. There's still a lot of racing to go. We got 2 full laps, I believe, or is this the last lap?
No, I reckon they are on the final lap.
This is
five complete. So this is a high-speed game of motorcycling chess here. They are going at it. They're ducking high, they're ducking low. Maybe just a little bit of a gap here for Marcus. He might have got the better of some of those back markers. He's looking. He's already rubbernecking over his shoulder. He knows he's got some heat now.
He knows the pressure's on. Look at, I think that's Gilbertson sitting in second, I believe. I can't quite tell, but the line choice that they are taking on the edges of the track, trying to find any smooth line they can find. But this is really a game of back markers, and when you get to them, and the timing of it is going to play crucial here. As you can see, second, third, Marcus is stretched out a little bit, and I do think you might have been right, John. Just the lappers, the timing of it might have just held them up a little bit. But
it sort of begs the question, though, how did these guys gain so much on our leader when there was actually coming into the loop, into the pits, there was, according to timing, there was a fair gap between them, sort of 8 seconds between all of them. Then all of a sudden on pit exit, they're all bunched up.
I don't understand how that works and if there's any implications on that, but it gave us a bit of adrenaline there at the start of this race, and it is not over, that's for sure.
Oh, around the outside of a back marker there goes our race leader, and Marcus is continuing to show how it's done. Can he seal the deal? Can he get it done here? He's probably got another 7 or 8 minutes of hard pushing here on the track that's starting to deteriorate.
And that's Avard in second now. So Avard on the Husqvarna, pushing on the, look at him on the edge outside of the track, trying to get some potatoes out of the ground through the farmland.
He's coming, Mitty.
This is crazy. And I don't see third, so maybe third place in Gilbertson. Has he got caught up in a lap rider? And
just on the edge of screen, I think he was there, just coming through the turn. We can't quite see him, but we can see first and second. They're starting to disappear.
Here he is, third,
off into the distance.
So I would not rule Gilbertson out of the equation just yet, but Avard creeping up. Look at the inside line working for these guys now.
I think that's our leader, Marcus, was it, getting through that back marker, Avard. Now one back marker between himself and the race leader. He quickly adjusts that situation as he rips around the outside. And now they've got that throttle twisted around to the stop down here. It's absolutely full noise at Hattah. It's the final lap, Matty. And they are going at it. This is just a no-holds-barred scrap for the win.
This is what they came to watch. This is what the people came to see. This is awesome. We've got a nice, intense last lap. Battle to the finish. And now we've lost them for a little while. So we're going to have to sit here and wait and watch the rest of the riders. And speculate and watch the rest of the riders come through as they're still in a battle of their own. And look at Levi Rossi on the 125. Picked up into 5th position on the last lap. So will he hold that down? And only 1 second behind 4th in Munro. So Levi Rossi, a force to be reckoned with in this off-road racing, creeping up into 5th place.
Yeah, what a young gun he is. The top 15 have already come through. Maybe that just gives us an opportunity to recap a fraction. As we've seen, Nolan leading from Avard and Gilbertson, with Nate Munro in 4th position, Levi Rossi in 5th, Fletcher Ryan in 6th position in P7, Liam Egan on the 95, Paddy Lewis sitting in 8th position from Kai Austin in 9th, Richie Lawler in 10th, Nate Waldy in 11th, Lockie Roach in 12th, followed by Riley Delaney, Mitch Ford and Oscar Thomas rounding out the top 15. We've got a replay here on pit entry. So is our leader, has he slowed up?
191 is the leader here.
So he's banked up behind some backmarkers here. Did he maybe?
Here is Avard, just at the back of the screen. We can see him there.
Was he going well below 25 though, Brett?
Well, I think this crew right here are going well below 25. So I think they're going a little bit too slow. And again, Marcus, he's at the mercy. He cannot pass. He cannot move forward. So I really don't think... I don't know how that plays out. I'm not in the rule book here, but...
Well, there we see Harry. But Gilbertson there was still a long way behind them, halfway through the pit entrance, but on exit, he was right
there
on their rear fender.
Well, he actually moved into second, didn't he? In that first corner, he actually put a pass in the second. So it really is going to be moving forward in this event. They're going to have like a speedo there with your direct speed that's telling you, because it really, there was nothing Marcus could do there. And technically, if you're doing the speed limit, you should not be gaining positions or gaining ground in front of you. But obviously that did happen. I don't know how they work those things out. Is it fair? No.
But it's a little difficult. We're only speculating here. I mean, it could be that the leader got caught up with some of the backmarkers that were actually going well below 25.
I believe that was what I was trying to refer to. I think that the group that Marcus was stuck behind were going well below 25 Ks. They're not in the race. They're kind of, they might be even tired, John. They're pretty fatigued. So they're not in that intensity of the first place of the race. They're just cruising. And I think they were sitting well below 25. And, maybe, that's something that these officials can look at is like, well, maybe Marcus does get permission to kind of creep by steadily if he's, not sitting on 25, at least given the opportunity to do that. And, perhaps things need to be looked at there in the future, but nonetheless, I mean, it's just us to speculate on. That's nothing official about it. So we should have a pretty nice race to sit here and be observing here soon.
So we just have to keep an eye on it. I thought I saw one of our leaders coming into a shot there, but I don't think it was the case. We don't see the checkered flags coming out yet, but they must be starting to get a little closer now as we see them working their way around towards us. Hopefully we'll pick them up. Be great to pick up a ding-dong scrap all the way to the checkered flag, wouldn't it?
It sure would. It sure would, because I think they are going to be going hammer and tong at it, John. I don't think they're going to back down. I do not think Avard was tired. He looked strong. Marcus looked very strong. So it's going to be a race to the finish line, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, indeed, as we see a few more riders just making their way out of pit lane, setting off on their final circulation of battle here in this junior big wheel class. So maybe we can just have a little look at our timing screen. Let's Declan Smart still sitting in 27th, first of the big wheel 85s. Is Riley Mullen still there? He's only showing us 4 complete at the moment. Declan has completed 5 laps. So that will update shortly, but a little further down the order we had Fletcher Ryan in 6th, from Egan 7th, Lewis 8th, Austin in 9th, Lawler 10th, from Waldy, Roach, Delaney, Ford, Thomas, Howe, Smith, Green, Carey, House, Billy Clark, Lees, Farrell, Breen, Vincent, Roach, we mentioned Smart, Goyka, and we got Holton and Finch. That's your top 30 that have all completed 5 laps.
Yep. And in the background there is the podium, the Penrite Hattah Desert Race podium, what their guys are going to be running for. I know they want to be standing on top. Who's going to take it? We're just going to have to wait and see a little bit longer. But most riders completing their 5th lap looking a little bit tired there, John, looking a little tired, but, you know, a little bit of a tank slapper, what we call a bit of head shake going on. The track's rough. The 85's just trying to hang in there and do another lap. 487 coming through, 76 coming through. So good job to all these guys for continuing on. 101 on the plate. In for pit stop, maybe a little bit of petrol and a drink. Off he goes. Final lap underway for him.
Got to be getting close to our leaders coming back towards us now.
It's got to be really, really
I can
soon.
see
Here we go.
our finisher's got the checkered flags in his hand, sort of at the ready in preparation, but we're going to try and pick them up on the drone. Can Marcus Nowland hang on, or will it be Jet Avard? Will it be Jumper Jet that pulls something together here and manages to scorch past him in the dying stages? He's obviously got a pretty big tank. Must be particularly fit and ready for this. We're still trying to pick them up here. I'll keep a bit of an eye on our finisher just in case we miss them. But what an intriguing battle it's been. He's led from the outset, Marcus Nolan. Perhaps they've been gaining on him a little bit in the pits. Is this first and second? On the live stream, starting to rocket back into view. We'll get a clearer picture in just a few moments. Can the GYTR Yamaha pilot bring it home?
That could be him. I think this is Marcus Nolan. No, it's not. No, it's not. That is... We can't pick that up, but it's definitely not Marcus.
Our finisher just...
patiently waiting, anxiously waiting to see.
So Jedavard on that 744 in pursuit of Marcus Noland. We're about to find out shortly whether anything has changed here at the pointy end.
We are trying to pick up our race leaders.
The KTM of Jet.
There we change cameras, so see if we can find somebody.
So we are most definitely in the dying stages here. Thanks to Penrite, we trust that you are enjoying the action. This has been a torrid scrap.
I just thought, there's the 92 coming through. I just thought I saw Declan Smart in the background there. It looks like there's a pile-up way in the back there. Looks like some bikes, potentially. No, that could just be race officials just hanging out, keeping an eye on things. Aaron Menard's off to the side there, taking photos. We know he takes a good photo.
Yeah, more than Moto. Follow him on the socials.
More than Moto.
That's for sure, but our finisher not really warming up just yet. We'll be looking to hopefully catch a glimpse.
I wouldn't want to carry a camera like that around all day. I reckon they get pretty heavier.
I would.
Oh, there's he. He does a good job. Thanks for being out there, Az. Always supporting the sport. Where are our leaders? We are just hanging. We are absolutely hanging here to find out what the outcome is going to be. Hard to pick up. Hang with us. Bear with us. We have to be patient. A lot of riders coming through. This will be the commence of their final lap. Here we go. We have on screen. They look like the second rider here coming through could be Marcus Nolan. Very difficult to pick up, but he is on the gas either way. On the gas. I think this is our race leader.
Yeah, he's just tiptoeing
in the
his
Fox
way.
gear, it's him. We have picked up our race leader.
Yeah, we got him on the way back in towards the pit area. Just lost him there for a moment. He's going to hook that rut through the turn. Looks like he's got a fairly comfortable break. He might have done enough here.
Yeah.
He may have just been saving a little bit in reserve for the last lap sprint.
Well, in all fairness to him, he has been the fastest throughout this entire race. He really has deserved and shown that he has what it takes. And on this last lap, they all had an opportunity, and he has broken away, and he stretched a bit of a lead, and he has now 2 or 3 corners to go to come down to the finish line. A little start for the front end. He's pushing it hard to the end. And this will be it, John.
Yeah, here he comes. He blasts by that big bush. He's only got 1 or 2 turns remaining. He is into the final turn. Put your hands together for him, Hattah. He's done it. Marcus Nowland gets it done for the GYTR Yamaha outfit. And he's won by a pretty comprehensive margin. We can't even spot second just yet. He will be absolutely stoked. He's Marcus the Maestro here today, Matty.
Yep.
We're waiting for second and third to come around. They might be across the line in just a moment. Who will get there? Will it be Jet on the 744?
There it is, 744. So I think Jet Abbott has come through.
Yeah, put your hands together
There
for
he
Jet.
is.
Second position. He hops off the motorcycle now. And in just a few moments, I'm sure there'll be a fist pump there between first and second. And have we seen our third place runner through? No, I don't think the 49 of Harry Gilbertson. He might have just crossed now, completing 6 laps. So that will be your podium. Marcus Nowland, Jetavard and Hattah Gilbertson. Last year's winner just wasn't quite able to go back-to-back here. He gave it his all, that's for sure. But the pace,
Yeah.
it was just electrifying out in front, wasn't it?
That was awesome to watch. It's cool to see when a race comes down to the last lap after about an hour and a half. I mean, I'm not quite sure the actual length of the race, but it was a long time for these youngsters to continue that intensity all the way through. That is something special to watch.
Look at the time on the last lap there. Nowland getting back into the 15s with a 15-minute, 58-second lap time. Compare that to Avard.
Yeah.
And that was a 16 minutes and 11 from him. So winners are grinner, Matty.
Winners are grinners.
No doubt about that.
Takes the top spot. Congratulations to these 3 guys.
We'll be going to JK very shortly with our presentations. We see Shannon Moyle on screen down there. Be a very happy Yamaha GYTR outfit after that one. Even though he seemed to lose a bit of time commuting through pit lane, he was able to let his racing do the talking. The minute he was back into the green flag zone, he was able to do the business.
Yep. Yeah, he rode from the gate drop or the start of the race to the end there. He really controlled it well. His racecraft shone through. Everything was working well. Obviously, the bike is really working well in these conditions, and he proved that he was a very deserving winner of this event. And can't wait to see what he goes on to. He's obviously got the talent for it and puts in the work.
About 21-second winning margin at the end of the day, and something must have happened to Hattah Gilbertson there to end up so far back in position 3 when he was challenging early on in the lap. Unless he absolutely hit the wall, he must have tucked the front or run off track or something somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that he's kind of thrown it down on that last lap. And I mean, even with Jet on that second to last lap, he turned a lap time of I think 15:50 or 48, or it was well within the 16 under the 16 minutes. It was a 15er. And so that last lap, I mean, he was really pushing hard, and then he actually turned to 16:11. So I'm wondering maybe Avard and Gilbertson might have come together, or maybe there was a pass attempt that didn't work out. We don't, it's a mystery for us at the moment. But for those two to really drop off that far in the last lap, for one, I think Marcus really stepped up, dropped underneath the 16-minute lap time. So he really stepped up and put it down, and maybe just ran a pace that wasn't able to be matched on that last lap.
You just see, can't you, that even these guys, as quick as they were, that the fastest lap of the race, I think, was a 15:12.9 from your winner. Wow. And then the last lap time, we're singing his praises. It was only just under the 16-minute bracket. So it just shows you early on that when the pace is full bore, you're trying to generate that gap.
Yep.
But, and that's when the track is obviously a lot better, a lot smoother. It gets rougher, it chops out. There's hundreds of bikes on the track here for 6 laps, and it certainly takes its toll on the terra firma.
Oh, it surely does. On the machines as well, the suspension gets hot, starts to lose its control, the riders get tired, you lose a bit of focus. So for him to be still within range of 1 minute of a lap time over a duration of, let's call it, maybe an hour and a half, that's amazing effort. So here comes 762. So this is going to be, I believe, Munro coming in, what we have down maybe as 5th place. So Egan will come through in 4th on the 95 and 762.
Gee, good effort there in the dying stages from Leap and Liam Egan, getting up into 4th position. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Certainly go out to him, as you said. Nate Munro rounding out the top 5.
We're going to wait because I can just see Levi Rossi dropping down the stats here. So Levi Rossi was sitting in 5th on that last lap. So has he gone down or had a mechanical? I don't see Levi as he drops down to 7th now. So we see Ryan coming through. So Fletcher Ryan coming through in 6th. Paddy Lewis in 7th. As we await, Levi Rossi could be the next rider through. But has something happened on the final lap?
Well, that would be devastating for Levi if he's had some sort of mechanical issue or he's dropped the bike somewhere, because even though he was sitting 5th overall, he was leading class, and I don't think anybody else has come through in that division just yet. The 2-stroke 100cc through 150cc class. Riley Delaney, I think, was the second best in that class, down in 13th overall at the completion of lap number 5.
Here comes 27. So Lawler right now currently sitting 10th, but if Rossi has had a problem on the last lap, he will move up to 9th position. I'm going to guess that is going to happen right here. We will see the order swap.
Yep,
so Richie Lawler,
he comes across the line to Annex P9.
A good race for Richie Lawler there, finishing in P9. Anything inside the top 10 is going to be impressive. Here comes number 11. So Nate Waldy will jump up into P10. That rounds out the top 10.
So we've got to keep an eye out for the 46 here, Brett, because that is Riley Delaney, was running second
in the 2 strokes.
In the two smoker division. So really disappointing for Levi Rossi to be sliding down. We can only speculate. We have no idea what's happened to him. And here's the 46. Here he comes. Rapid Riley Delaney was in 14th position overall, and this could be the win in the class in that 100 through 150cc class.
Riley Delaney jumps up to 13th overall, and he shall be the first 2-stroke. Is that correct, John? The first 2-stroke.
Sure. Yep, unofficially.
Unofficially, the first 2-stroke. So he will take first in the 2-stroke class.
Yep.
He has done an amazing job on the 125 or the 125 to 150 class in the 2-stroke division. So an awesome ride for him, as we still are waiting for Levi Rossi to make a stage appearance on the final lap. Has there been a mechanical crash? We do not know, but he's dropping down the order. A bummer for Levi. As we watch the rest of the riders coming through, looking a little tired. 133 on the plate here as he comes through. Awesome job just to complete this race. We got to give credit to all these riders. Just finishing an hour and a half of riding. John, it's not easy to do, is it? Staying focused the whole time and no mistakes, staying off the ground, getting your bike to the finish line. Credit to all the families, all the mechanics, the team that get all these riders here, set everything up, make the bike, build the bike all week, get it ready to go, and then to complete the race. That is, for anybody, that's the number one goal. So it's always an achievement once you cross that finish line. It's a sigh of relief for the team and everyone involved, and it's a good feeling as a rider.
Oh, it certainly is a lot of relief. There'll be a few calluses. I'm sure if the hands will be absolutely bleeding after that, but they'll be pretty sore, won't they? But
yeah,
absolutely relieved. I'd say that JK should be standing by for our presentation with our place getters in just a few moments.
We're still watching the Final riders just coming through, completing their last lap. 54 on the plate, Jay Manertz completing the race here. Number 50 coming through. Just awaiting to see if Declan Smart will hold down first position in the 85 category. And we will jump down. I believe they are ready at the podium for the top 3 overall here today. So we'll jump down there with JK.
Well, that's part 2 of our Hattah Junior timetable today. Smashed to bits. We have finished our big wheel class for our juniors today, and we get to talk to the top 3 guys. What an amazing day's event we've had today. The weather's been fine, the track's been great, but now we talk to the champs and find out exactly from a rider's perspective how their day's been. And the top 3 guys start with number 1 right here, the junior big wheel outright winner in bike number 191, Marcus Nolan. Put it together for him. Marcus, good day today.
Yeah, not bad.
Mate, it's a pretty demanding event, but it's a great platform for junior building to take into seniors, yeah?
Yeah, pretty good. It got pretty rough and just got into a flow, and then just seen him on me last lap, and I was like, oh, I've got to send it again, so got it done anyway.
And of course, a lot of people behind you out of New South to help you out, mate.
Yeah, just huge shout out to mum and dad, me sisters, Huey for coming down, me boss, the whole Yamaha Junior Racing team, everyone that puts us a DJM suspension especially, and yeah, thank you.
And all the people back in Young, obviously, they're live streaming, watching it today. They'd be pretty pumped the fact that you're where you are, right?
Yeah, the boys will be keen about this one.
The beer's on you or the beer's on them?
Beer's on me.
Good work. Hey, got nice run last year in juniors for you, into seniors next year?
Yeah, in the seniors next year. We'll be digging.
Going to be running a bluey?
Oh yeah, nothing but.
Good on you, Marcus. Well done. Marcus Nolan, our winner here today. We move into second place for 744, Jet Avard. Put your hands together for Jet. Come on. Jet by name, Jet by nature.
Yeah, it was a good race. Yeah, had heaps of fun. It was good.
Mate, the conditions out there look pretty good, actually. Like, we've had a bit of rain here last week, and that's probably bedded down some of the parts. A little bit of dust out there as well, I can see on you. But all in all, it's probably a pretty good track today, right?
Yeah, track forming it well. We got that 5 and 6 mil on Wednesday, and it just helped heaps with all like the prologue. Even the prologue track just held up well. It was really fun. Bit of dust, but like you handle it easy. Yeah, it was good.
And of course, for you, I think from memory, you're SA, yeah?
Chuka, Vic.
Sorry, Chuka Vic, that's right. Sorry, for you travel up here, you've been here for a week or 2?
Yeah, we came up and did the Oyen race, so we just stayed up in Mildura for the rest of the week. Yeah, it was good. Just did some testing with Jonesy at TuneTech, so it was good.
Nice part of the world to be residing up here for a week or so.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Got a bit of rain. The moisture was perfect.
Bet you were kicking to go out after the rain on, I think it was midweek sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday. That's what we try to do most of our testing. Just get used to the soil and everything. Yeah, it was good.
Well, dude, it paid off, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, any shout-outs for anybody that you want to, from here, we're helping you this weekend here and or home, all right?
Yeah, I just like to thank Kingo, my mechanic, Sammy at the track, mum and dad, just doing it, taking me to every race and just helping me heaps. Kingo, yeah, dad for coming up, Cruz for the cool lads pit boards and the motivation on the straights. Yeah, obviously Jonesy at TuneTech suspension and Cox Auto. Cheers.
And dude, you got one more year left in juniors, right?
Yeah, gonna try to go for that number 1 next year.
Come back, whip it and kick it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Good work. Jet Allard, ladies and gents, our second place runner. Let's head into third now, and this is the guy I think from out of SA, right?
Yeah.
And it's of course Harry Gilbertson. Harry, good run today.
Yeah, got around, didn't make too many mistakes, but yeah, good.
And that's a key to this, isn't it? Get a good start, get out there, get into a rhythm, try not to make any mistakes, and just keep charging on, right?
Yeah, I kept charging. Tried to charge the whole race, but I just come a bit sore near the end, but got around.
And of course, bike ran faultlessly for you?
Yeah, Kent Collins and Mount Gambier had it dialed all weekend. Dad, Scotty, Logan, everyone for helping me out. Mum, everyone else that helped me out throughout the weekend. Choice suspension had it pretty good. Bolton's, Brant, KDM, Choice suspension, KNS Fuels. Just thanks to everyone.
Last year for you in juniors?
Yeah, last year.
Looking forward to going into seniors, yeah?
Yeah, going for seniors should be good.
And probably aboard another orange one?
Yeah, I always stay on orange.
Been the way to go. And you've been here, how many Hattahs for you now?
Probably like 5 or something.
So enjoy coming up here?
Yeah, good couple days every year.
And what's your favourite part of Hattah? What part of Hattah really gets you going?
Probably just like the start is pretty cool, how we start the race.
And of course, back in seniors, you get to start on a bigger platform and hopefully a little bit further up the field than back end of the field. Because, mate, it's dynamite over there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely rough over there in the seniors. The big whoops they get out there is pretty gnarly.
Well, mate, what you've cut over the last 4 or 5 years here at Hattah in the junior division, mate, I think you are in good stead. I'll be watching you next year when you come back as a senior, huh?
Yeah, hopefully come good next year and should be good for the weekend.
Good on you, Harry. Well done. Harry Gilbertson, ladies and gentlemen, our third place rider. Fantastic to have all these guys here racing this weekend. And indeed, all of our junior categories have done a fantastic job. I hope you've enjoyed our junior division here today. We've got senior prologue coming up shortly, and that's going to be a blinder as well. But how about a round of applause for all our key guys here today in our big wheel junior class here for Hattah 25.
Come on, they're taking this one.
Well, what a race it was, our junior big wheels. Johnny Contract doing a wonderful job down there. And naturally, winners are grinners. Congratulations to Marcus Nowlin on the 191. The Yamaha Speedster, too good for them. Jedivard in for second position. Harry Gilbertson rounding up the top 3. Followed in by Liam Egan into 4th. Nate Munro 5th. Fletcher Ryan into P6. Paddy Lewis into 7th. Kai Austin into 8th. Richie Lawler finishing in 9th position with Nate Waldy in 10th. Lockie Roach in 11th. Mitch Ford in 12th position. Riley Delaney in 13th overall. And looks as though he may have picked up the two-stroke award unofficially. So absolute despair and heartache for Levi Rossi. Apparently he made a pass for 4th overall, and unfortunately it appears as though his KTM blew up on the final lap. So That is most unfortunate. He will be absolutely devastated, that's for sure. But congratulations most definitely to the 46 of Riley Delaney. That's what it's all about, this race. It's an absolute test of man and machine. Oscar Thomas finishes in 14th position. Riley Howe in 15th. Trip Smith in 16th. Cade Green in 17th. Clyde Carey in 18th, followed by Mitch House in 19th position. Might have been second two-stroke home, I reckon, just scanning through the list. So Billy Clark in 20th position, followed by Harrison Lees. Cody Breen in 22nd, Lachlan Farrell in 23rd, Lachlan Vincent in 24th, Hayden Roach in 25th, Declan Smart, congratulations, looks as though he is your provisional 85 Big Wheel champion this year. What an outstanding effort from the South Aussie. Xander Goiker in 27th, Harrison Finch in 28th, Albie Trigg in 29th, Noah Holton in 30th from Lockie Gardner in 31st. He was followed by Jack Roberts, Chase Weston. Chase Weston definitely appears to have been top 5 there in the 100 through 150cc two-stroke class. He was chased by Kai Kinsella, Will Cale, Bradley Geraghty, Sam Dixon, Joel Kramer. Riley Mullen looks as though he might have annexed second position in the 85cc big wheel. Congrats to him, the South Aussies 1 and 2 there in 39th overall for Riley. In 40th position, Hayden Detling on the number 42. In behind him, Jesse Diffie, Finley Cox, Blake Brown, Chad Woodbury. Chad on the two-stroke, RJ Penny in 45th position. Overall, Sam Molesworth was next from Paul Rafalo, Sid O'Brien, Cooper Parks, Connor Galley, Lockie DiPaolo, Zed McCluckey, Caleb Churchett. Down in 53rd overall, Toby Waters, Thomas Devlin, Ruben Morse, Cody Shingles, Harvey Julian, Mitch McKay, Curtis Morrison, and that is your top 60. We're just scrolling down a little further, see if we can find some of our female competitors. I know one thing, when you scroll right down to the very bottom, there's quite a few that certainly didn't get too many laps in. Some didn't even complete one lap. There's quite a few with only 2 or 3, 4 to their name. See Nellie Fox only completing the 4 laps. Definitely an absolute battle of attrition out there, that is for sure, and that track got rougher and rougher by the circulation.